Hello! Today we've got another do-it-yourself tutorial for you of this bracelet. As you can probably tell from the colors, it's, meant to be sort of a spring, summertime bracelet. There's nice bright colors, looks fun, and yep. I'll just zoom you in so you can see it better. So this is what it looks like. It has pretty much, 3 separate rows. And yeah, I just wanted to make something fun and easy, yet more complicated looking than it actually is. So yeah, let's get started. So here's pretty much what I used. You'll see it from more up close later, of course. And yeah, what I started out with were these purple rings. They're sort of rings with just a tiny little gap in them. I bought them at a do-it-yourself store, crafting store. I think a lot of crafting stores sell them actually. And they're really easy to use. Basically, you just fold them open, loop another one in, and then just continue on like that until you have either a bracelet or a necklace or pretty much whatever you want to make of them. And yeah, I sped it up for you because otherwise this would, get pretty boring, because it's really seriously the easiest step in this entire thing. And yeah, and that's the end result, which actually already looks quite nice on its own. But of course I wanted to do more detail and just, more colors, so I also used beads. And of course I rearranged them first in just an order of colors that I found pretty. And then I used rather thick rope to just make another bracelet of it. And what I always do is just use one first with like a rather tiny hole, and then just make a knot in the little rope thingy, just so it won't, the beads won't fall off on the other end. Always used to happen when I used to do things like this in primary school. But yeah, anyways, obviously I just put all the little beads on there. This really is a very quick and easy tutorial to do, by the way. And then it's just like that. And then the last part is actually somewhat more time consuming. I think this took me about 10 minutes. I just used very, very thin yarn and very, very tiny little beads, as you can see here. And yeah, just basically put them all on the little tiny piece of yarn. And obviously I didn't color coordinate these or anything. I just randomly grabbed some, and yeah. Well, I did actually pick specifically the blue, white, green and pink ones, but I didn't bother putting them in a certain order or anything. I just, grabbed those colors in whatever order they ended up in. And then just tied the first one to the little piece of yarn, so it's stuck on there. And yeah, then just put all the other ones on. I did shorten a bit of the footage, but I didn't show it all because seriously this took way too long. And then just tied the other one to there as well, like the bead on the other side, so it's stuck on there. Then we have all the 3 parts of the bracelet, and yeah, then you'll need a sort of clamp thingy. I have no idea what these are called. They probably have some sort of official name, but I just call them those things that keep bracelets together, because yeah. I'm just a beginner at crafts, I don't know all the official terms. So yeah, what I did is just cut all the ends of the 3 bracelet parts to the same shape, or the same length, and then just clamp them all together. And do make sure you do this very, very tightly, because especially the thin piece of yarn, it will fall out of it if you don't do this tight enough, and then you'd be stuck with a gazillion tiny little beads all over the floor, which isn't something anyone likes, so yep. So as you can see, I pretty much pressed it shut from any angle I could think of. And then that side of it was done. And then of course I did the exact same thing on the other side of the bracelet. And as you can see, these have tiny little, well, if you could see that, have tiny little sort of have rings on top of them, so they're just really easy to attach other stuff to. Such as the little closing thing. And there's of course different types of bracelet and necklace closing things. I also have the type that you need to screw on, which I think look very fancy, but they're impossible to do on your own wrist because you need 2 hands to close them. So I decided to use these, and I just used little rings and opened them and just, yeah, looped everything through and then closed them again. And on the other side you could keep it at the one little ring, because you know it was still closed, but I don't know, I thought it looked more fancy for some reason to just use 2 rings on that side as well. Also, I bought like all the stuff. I buy the stuff sometimes at craft stores, and a lot of the time actually at budget stores, so yeah. And even at craft stores, like, it barely costs anything, so there's no real need to be very sparse with it. And then the bracelet is pretty much done. So yeah, here you can see me wearing it. And yeah, as you can see, it's really fun, really nice for summer and spring. Colorful and just exactly what I like. Of course, you could also use different colors if that's what you prefer. And yeah, normally I don't have issues working on people who I don't know yet, because that's what I usually do. But at final exams, it's just more fun to work on someone you do know, because